Life will always test you. It throws at you unexpected situations, unseen pain, and failures that make you question yourself. It wears you down, fills you with fear, and sometimes tempts you to give up. But what if there were a way to walk through it all without collapsing? What if in the midst of the storm you could keep your mind steady, your heart calm, and your insight clear? Would life still have the power to wound you as before? In every great wisdom tradition of humanity, no force is greater than the power of mastering the mind. For the mind is the root of all suffering, and also the root of all peace. An untrained mind is like a surface of water before the wind. Even the slightest breeze can stir up waves. But a trained mind, even when storms arrive, still reflects the clear sky within itself. The Buddha taught, the greatest victory is the victory over oneself. You can conquer the world, but if you are defeated by your own mind, you remain a failure. So instead of trying to control circumstances, learn to control your responses. When the mind is steady, external events become challenges, not threats. When the mind is clear, you see the truth of things rather than being dragged by emotion. And when the mind is peaceful, all turbulence becomes nothing more than ripples upon a still lake. Life does not need fewer storms. You simply need to become the one who can stand still amid them. That is the power of the one who masters their mind, the one not led by emotion, not shaped by circumstance, and not defined by fear. To master the mind is not to deny suffering, but to face it with composure. It is not to suppress emotion, but to transform it into strength. It is not to escape life, but to live fully within it, with calmness and wisdom. Life will always bring challenges, but when you learn the art of mastering the mind, you stop wishing for the storm to end. You learn to stand firm within it, and in that moment you do more than survive. You become truly free. Buddhism does not teach people to avoid suffering, but to walk through it with wisdom and awareness. For suffering is part of existence, but how we face it is what determines our fate. A weak mind collapses before adversity, while a trained mind turns adversity into strength. In that spirit, the Buddha outlined 6 habits as daily practices, simple yet profoundly transformative. They do not make you perfect. They make you unshakable, no matter how much the world changes. The first habit is to sit with your pain. Do not run from it, distract it, or bury it under noise. Let yourself truly feel it. When you dare to stay with your emotion, you realize that pain does not come to punish, it comes to awaken. The second habit is to pause before reacting. Choose to respond instead. Whenever something provokes or hurts, you stop, breathe deeply, and observe. That brief pause is where you reclaim mastery over your mind. Third, discipline your mind each morning. The moment you awaken is when the world has not yet taken hold of you. Begin the day with stillness, meditation, or a meaningful affirmation. You are planting the seed of peace for the entire day. Fourth, let go of what you cannot control. Most suffering arises from trying to cling to what isn't yours to hold. When you learn to release, you do not lose, you become free. Fifth, curate your environment. The people you walk with, the space you live in, the information you consume, all of it either nourishes or drains your energy. Be discerning about what you allow to enter your inner world. And finally, remind yourself daily of who you truly are. Amid pressure, expectation, and noise, do not let the world define you. Define yourself by your values, your purpose, and the clarity of your heart. These 6 habits are not rituals of asceticism, but a practical way of living. They help you become the still center amid the storm where strength and serenity meet. When practiced consistently, you do not merely endure adversity, you rise through it. For true stillness is not the absence of movement, but the ability to stand firm amidst all change. No one can escape pain. Pain is an inevitable part of life. The body may be hurt, the heart may grow heavy, but what truly matters is how we walk through it. The Buddha taught pain is inevitable, suffering is optional. This means pain comes from life, but suffering arises from the mind's resistance. When we run away, blame, or numb ourselves, we only make the pain last longer. But when we pause, breathe slowly, and look directly into it, we realize that pain doesn't come to destroy us. It comes to teach us something about ourselves. Pain is a strict but honest teacher. It forces us to face the fragility of life, to release the illusion of control, and to learn acceptance. When a relationship ends, pain does not come to end you. It comes to remind you that love cannot be possessed. When failure arrives, pain does not come to crush you. It comes to teach humility, to help you grow. Every wound carries a lesson within it, if only we are brave enough to listen. Try staying with your feelings, even just for a few minutes. Don't reach for your phone. Don't fill the silence with noise or distraction. Sit down, feel your heartbeat, and observe every sensation rising within your body. Ask softly, what is this trying to tell me? When you stop resisting, you realize that pain has limits, and behind its turbulent waves there is a stillness waiting to be found. Those who can sit with pain are cultivating true inner strength. For only by daring to stay in the dark can we learn how to see the light. Each time we endure, we grow steadier. Each time we break, we learn how to rise. Real peace does not come from the absence of pain, but from the ability to walk through it without losing ourselves. So, the next time life hurts, you don't rush to escape. Stay. Breathe deeply. Let the pain move through you instead of taking root within you. When you no longer fear pain, you begin to understand life. And when you can sit calmly amidst the storm of emotion, you have not only overcome suffering, you have become your own teacher. Most people live as if they are not truly awake. When someone insults us, we instantly get angry. When faced with hardship, we panic. When we lose something, we blame the world. The mind reacts before it even realizes what it's doing, and in those moments, we lose mastery over ourselves. The Buddha taught, no one can make you angry unless you allow it. Anger, sadness, and anxiety do not come from the outside world, but from how we interpret it within. Therefore, the wise do not live by reaction, they live by awareness. The moment between stimulus and response is where all human power resides. When someone hurts you, you can choose silence over retaliation. When chaos arises, you can choose calm over panic. That single pause is the bridge where you step out of instinct and enter mindfulness. Each deep breath creates distance between you and your emotions. Each time you observe, instead of react, you strengthen the foundation of wisdom within you. Imagine a breeze passing over a lake. If the surface ripples, reflections become distorted. But when the water is still, everything appears clearly. So too, with the mind, when it is undisturbed by emotion, you see things as they truly are. Nothing added, nothing subtracted, no judgment. You begin to understand that you don't need to control the world, only your reaction to it. Practicing this requires daily training. Each time you are provoked, pause for one breath. Feel it touch your chest and ask yourself, what response reflects the best version of me? When the mind returns to the breath, wisdom naturally arises. You are no longer the victim of emotion. You are its master. To master reaction is not to suppress emotion, but to understand and transform it. The angry person may take a breath and realize the fear hidden beneath. The sorrowful one may observe and see their longing for love. When you understand the root, the emotion dissolves like clouds fading before the morning Sunday. Once you cultivate this habit, life can no longer disturb your peace as it once did. You become the still center amidst the storm, where everything may pass through, but nothing can stay for long. When reaction is replaced by awareness, you not only master emotion, you begin to master your destiny. Morning is the most sacred moment of the day, when the mind is still clear like the surface of a lake untouched by wind. Yet most of us allow the world to seize our minds the moment we open our eyes. Phones, messages, work news all rush in before we even notice our first breath, and so we begin our day in reaction rather than intention. The Buddha taught, the mind precedes all things. All phenomena follow the mind. If the morning mind is restless, the whole day will be swept into chaos. But if the morning mind is calm, the The day will unfold under the guidance of wisdom. That is why the first discipline of an awakened person is mastering the morning. Begin your day in stillness, not haste. Before touching the outer world, touch the world within. Spend a few moments breathing deeply, feeling life returning to your body. You may meditate, write down a few words of gratitude, or simply stand before the sunrise and feel its light. This awareness not only soothes the mind, but also reorganizes the energy within you. Those who have mental discipline understand that freedom does not come from indulgence, it comes from self-mastery. Each morning, when you choose calmness over rush, you train your capacity to stay centered no matter the circumstance. Instead of being led by emotion, you become the one who directs the course of your day. Mental discipline is not suppression, it is a commitment to your own soul. Just as the body needs training, the mind too must be trained daily. A few minutes each morning devoted to meditation, reading, writing, or reflection will gradually build inner strength. When the world grows noisy, you will still move at your own rhythm, slow, steady, and clear. Do not let the new day begin with pressure or unconscious routine. Let it begin with intention, with a full breath, with a wholesome thought. Ask yourself, what kind of energy do I want to bring into today? That one simple question can orient your entire mind. And as the day unfolds, you will find that you are no longer being carried away. You are living with awareness and choice. Morning is not merely the beginning of a day. It is the beginning of a conscious life. When you master the morning, you master the day. And when you cultivate mental discipline each morning, you are not just building a habit, you are building a self-calm, lucid, and unshakable amid all the changes of life. Most of human suffering does not arise from what happens, but from our attempt to control what lies beyond our reach. We want others to understand us, want life to follow our plans, want everything to go our way. And when the world refuses to comply, we grow angry, anxious, disappointed. The Buddha called this the root of suffering attachment. When we cling, we bind ourselves. When we release, we become free. Letting go does not mean giving up. It is neither indifference nor resignation. Letting go is an act of wisdom, the clear recognition of the boundary between what we can change and what we cannot. You can control your effort, but not the outcome. You can choose your conduct, but not how others respond. Once you understand this, you realize that much of what has disturbed your peace never truly belonged to you. Imagine holding tightly to a rope tied to a storm. The harder you grip, the deeper it cuts into your hand until you bleed. Only when you let go does the pain stop. Life is the same. Suffering does not come from the storm, but from our refusal to release the rope. Letting go is an act of courage, a declaration that says, I trust the flow of causes and conditions. When you let go, you lose nothing. Instead, you regain serenity, energy, and freedom. Throughout the day, ask yourself, is this within my control? If the answer is no, take a deep breath and let it go. When others misunderstand you, smile. When plans fall apart, trust that there is meaning in the detour. When loss occurs, be grateful for what was. This is not weakness, it is the strength of acceptance. Letting go is also a form of love, loving yourself enough not to let your heart be chained to what cannot be held. When you stop trying to control everything, you begin to sense the natural order of life. You learn to trust karma, to trust that everything that happens carries its own purpose. Gradually, you realize what is meant to come will come, and what must go will go. Life will never be entirely in your hands, but peace of mind always can be. When you release the need to control, you hand the reins back to your inner wisdom. And in that moment, you understand freedom is not found in holding on, but in the graceful act of setting down what no longer needs to be carried. Environment is not only the place you live, it is the energy you breathe each day. It seeps into your words, habits, surroundings, and the people you keep close. The Buddha once said that to be near the mud, yet remain unstained, is not a miracle, but the result of awareness, of knowing what to allow into your mind. A person is like a white cloth. Just a drop of ink can change its color. If you constantly surround yourself with negativity, complaints, and envy, that energy will inevitably seep into you. But if you stay near those who live virtuously, who are truthful, kind, and uplifted, your own heart will naturally grow clearer and calmer. Therefore, choose your environment as carefully as you choose your direction in life. Choose your friends, your spaces, what you read, watch, and listen to. Never underestimate the power of what you expose yourself to daily. A messy room reflects a restless mind. A small, tidy, quiet corner can nurture clarity and wisdom. Each morning, when you clean your space, open your windows, and let in fresh air and light, you are not just cleansing your surroundings, you are clearing your own mind. The outer environment always mirrors the inner world. Beyond physical surroundings and people, you must also learn to filter the flow of information and spiritual energy you take in. In an age flooded with noise, the mind is easily captured by the meaningless. Turn off negative news, limit mindless scrolling, and instead nourish your spirit with wisdom, music, or genuine conversations. The mind is like a garden. If you don't plant good seeds, weeds will grow on their own. But no matter how powerful the environment, the root always lies within. The environment can influence you, but it cannot define you. Each day remind yourself, who am I? Not in terms of titles or roles, but of the values and qualities you choose to embody. Write down 3 affirmations: I am peaceful, I am steadfast, I am compassionate. Place them where you will see them daily to anchor your mind to its true source. When you know who you are, the outside world can no longer shake you. You no longer follow the crowd, seek validation, or fear being forgotten. You live among people, yet remain unmoved, steady as a mountain. For the world may shift, others may judge, but one who knows their true self cannot be swayed. That is the pinnacle of freedom, to dwell amid the world's noise, yet still hear the quiet rhythm of your own breath. Success, peace, and enlightenment are never the result of a single leap. They are born from the quiet repetition of small steps each day. The Buddha taught, though a drop of water is small, by falling steadily, it can fill a great vessel. True strength lies not in intensity, but in consistency. Each small action, each right thought, each kind choice, though seemingly insignificant, silently shapes who you are becoming. No one awakens overnight. Awakening is the outcome of countless moments when you choose calm over impulse, kindness over selfishness, perseverance over surrender. Consider a seed. It doesn't sprout from one ray of light, but from hundreds of gentle mornings. Likewise, you don't need to do great things to change, only the right things done consistently. 5 minutes of meditation, a few lines of reading, listening instead of arguing, gratitude instead of complaint. These are the small daily victories that fortify your spirit. They accumulate into a strength that nothing can shake. There will be days when you see no progress, when results seem invisible. But remember, true transformation happens in silence. Like the unseen wind that calms the surface of the water, change is at work even when it cannot be seen. Be patient. Every effort you make today is a brick in the foundation of the steadfast self you are building for tomorrow. As you keep repeating right actions, the universe begins to align with you. This is the compounding principle of wisdom and karma. Do not expect life to change overnight. Let it change day by day through you. Aim to win one small battle each day. Overcome laziness, calm, a moment of anger. Dissolve a negative thought. Each time you do, you move closer to your most grounded, lucid, and liberated self. When the 6 habits you have learned combine with the power of daily accumulation, you realize that peace is not a destination, it is a state of being. You stop seeking strength outside yourself, for you become the source of it. Life will always bring wind waves and loss, but you, like bamboo in the storm, can bend without breaking sway, without falling, because your roots are deep in stillness and wisdom. Remember, you do not need to go fast. You only need to go true and steady. Every mindful step you take today is a step toward tomorrow's inner freedom. And when you have walked far enough, you will see there was never a destination at all, only the lifelong journey of returning home to yourself.